Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Wednesday and a lot has happened since my 1-year anniversary. Last Sunday they announced the International Booker Award. The International Booker Award announced the long list for 2023. Now, 3 books I've read already. I'm currently reading The Birthday Party by Laurent Mauvigner, and it's translated by Daniel Levenbecker. So this is a story about a birthday party at a farm that is going terribly wrong. They are being terrorized by a couple of men, I believe, and it's about, how each one deals with the situation, and it's told from different points of view. So I'm really looking forward to it. I never heard of Laurent Mauvigner, so I'm always glad that I discover new authors. I already read Boulder by the Catalan author Eva Baltasar, which is a brilliant book. This is one of the best books I've read so far this year. This talks about a young woman who is a bit of a free spirit. She's gay. She likes women, but she doesn't feel the need. She doesn't feel the need to be attached to someone. But yeah, the way it always goes, you meet somebody and you stick around, and what do? When this relationship becomes way more serious than you intended it to be, and then the other one wants a baby, and how do you deal with that? And yeah, it's a beautiful book, really well written, very fast paced, very powerful, packs punch, short novel, wonderful. And I also read Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov. He is a Bulgarian author. I read that last year. Also talked about this on my channel. This is a story about a man who builds an institution, or he builds one, and each for people with Alzheimer's. And each floor is sort of a time capsule of a decade. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And this all works very well at the beginning. People find it charming, especially the people who come and visit their family members who have Alzheimer's. But then it becomes a whole lot bigger, and it becomes of national interest, and politics get involved. And it becomes way bigger than the one who started it even could imagine. And in fact, this book talks about the dangers of nostalgia. I was a teenager in the 80s, and if I look back, I see, a lot of cool things. The music was fabulous, but each decade has fabulous music, but there was also a whole lot more. We had, especially in Belgium, we had a lot of murders, very heavy violence towards gang violence, well, sort of gang, but it's not the same gang as in the States. It's more one gang of bandits, sort of, and they terrorize the people, not other gangs. And so you could go to, it's possible that you would go to a supermarket and you were killed. And there were a lot of robberies, there were a lot of bomb attacks from the CCC here in Belgium. There was also, when you look at the bigger picture, there were a lot of plane hijacks, train hijacks. There were hijackings. There were a lot of there was a lot of political violence. You had IRA. You had ETA in Spain, you had Rote Armee Fraction, you had there were a lot of abductions. There was a whole lot of things going on. Yeah, a lot of unsolved murders. So it wasn't such a great time. But when you look back onto your own childhood, you tend to only remember the good things. And that's the danger of nostalgia. And when you want to relive it, how real is it? And that's what this book talks about. And I really think it was a good book. Will it win? I'm not sure. And then yesterday I finished a book written by Maryse Condé, and I have trouble remembering the name of the book, which is never a good sign. And now I can't find, oh, here it is. The Gospel According to the New World. Now, Maryse Condé is an author, well-respected author. She is an author of color, of course, and she's way in her 80s. And I think this was sort of a honorary nomination. So the book talks about it starts with a young woman who gives birth in a stable, and she leaves the little boy there because she knows that the little boy will be well taken care of. And yeah, of course, the people who live, the owners of the stable, find the baby within 15 minutes. And it's a couple in their early 40s. They wanted to have a child all their lives, but they had a lot of miscarriages and everything went wrong. Now this beautiful gift of a young boy. The little boy has a beautiful childhood. He's well taken care of. He's well loved, like it's their own son. And they tell him that they found him and everything. They are really open and really good for him. But yeah, he becomes an adolescent and he revolts, and he wants to find his real parents or his biological parents. And whilst doing that, he develops talents that are very Jesus-like. So he can heal with his hands. He can revive people from the dead, and all of those things. But he doesn't do that to help his foster parents. He does it for strangers, but not for his foster parents. And of course, his foster parents die of old age, and he doesn't do anything. And after a while, he feels sorry, especially for himself, that he didn't help them more, and he didn't give them the respect that they deserved. And yeah, I don't know, this book lacked so much, and the idea is not very original, but something could have been done. Well, she could have done a lot more with it. And this book lacked a lot of hot sauce and a lot of punch and a lot of anger, and it needed more oomph. It was all... I don't know, I can't... It's a book that I won't be able to recall within 2 days. I'm sorry. So I think this was more of a nomination out of respect of the person Maryse Condé. I've read other books, of course. I've read the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Lie With Me by Philippe Besson, translated by the American author, actor, Molly Ringwald. I think she once acted in the Breakfast Club or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. She did a wonderful job translating this book. This is a very, very beautiful book about two boys, 70-year-old, set in Bordeaux in 1984. And yeah, they fall in love during one summer, and then yeah, they have to go to college, so they separate. the relationship has a natural end, and then they don't see each other for at least 20 years. And then one of them comes back, and he sees a young man, and he looks exactly like Thomas, his old love, his first love. And he befriends that young man, and it turns out that he is related to Thomas. And this is how, while seeing the young man, he revisits his old and retells his old story, his old love relationship. It's so beautiful, very well paced, very well translated. It's only 150 pages, I believe, or 105. It's very short. No, 150 pages. It is absolutely beautiful. Read it, you love it. For me, it was a 5-star read. And we stay in the same genre. 2 17-year-old boys in Memoriam by Alice Winn. So this story is historical fiction. This talks about 2 boys, Ellie and Gaunt, yeah. Elwood and Gaunt. Ellie is the best, the last, how he calls him, and Gaunt. They were best mates in school. They were in a boarding school, very fancy boarding school, and Gaunt really suffered because he was really in love with Ellie, but Ellie didn't show any interest. And then the First World War breaks out, and Gaunt goes to enlists, and he escapes in a way to the trenches in Flanders. And he can only think of Ellie, of course, and he sees all his friends coming over and signing up, and of course they die. And then Ellie signs up too, and they have a wonderful time together, and they fall in love. And then, war happens. And Gaunt is shot, and Ellie is alone and misses Gaunt, and a lot of things happen. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story. Very well written, very emotional, very impactful, very tactile, very, loving. It's written with a whole lot of heart and with a lot of love, this story, and I really loved it. 5-star read for me. Then I also read Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I think we will do a live review or deep dive together with Micah and Steve Donahue. He really wants to talk about this book with us. So we will do that. Then I also read Seduction and Betrayal, non-fiction book, Women and Literature by Elizabeth Hardwick. Now, this wasn't for me. Half of the book was about the women described by Ibsen. I never read Ibsen. I don't feel the need to. And the other 3 essays were about Zelda and about Sylvia Plath and about Virginia Woolf. 3 women that were suffering with mental disorders, and she was very condescending, and I didn't like it one bit. And no, this wasn't a book for me, so I will quickly forget that one. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't bore you to death. If I didn't and you're still alive, please click the subscribe button or the like button, or drop a comment saying that you made it through this video a lot better than I did. Even the dog here next door is barking again. Bye-bye.